I'd
just like to address unintended consequences that 10 years ago or so, when we drove down the main street and so forth, and then went off to the beautiful areas that have been created, that we had an image of this diamond being polished here. And because it, even though the fences were raggedy, maybe there were cows up there and everything else. But the unintended consequences of all this cleanup stuff is that now you have barren property, and you can see through about 3 blocks to the backs of other buildings. And if anything, we've defeated ourselves a little bit, because the perception is that we tried and we died, okay? As opposed to what we intended to do, which was to clean up and do this other stuff. There are so many beautiful areas here in town, but we do have a real opportunity. But I think that opportunity is going to take money, and I think our city government really has to either get a bond issue or get some money to give back, because without taking the first step, we're going to miss the recovery altogether, because we're laying here saying, okay, well, we didn't let these charities have this money and this money and this money, and we want somebody to do something, but we took away their money, and we took away their money, and it's our money. And if you're going to have volunteers, like from the arts community or something else, get out there and participate with things that little things that we can do. I'm just suggesting that council and mayor and the city come up with some money to refund some of these things while the recession, the reversal of the recession is going on so hugely in other towns, and not very hugely here, or if at all. But if you dry up the complete money supply and don't have it recycled with some new enthusiasm of the money coming in, you go down further. And I think it's time to make a stand to take some of these things and maybe reverse some of these unintended consequences with either, some creative ideas, and I certainly don't have those, and probably everybody in the room has better ones. But I think it's time to step up, because it doesn't take any talent to cut budgets. It takes talent to invest in our future and go a little bit more in debt to get out of debt than what we're doing right now.
Thanks, Will. Certainly discuss this during the budget process, which, by the way, is going to be relatively early this year. We're going to start our process probably before the end of January. Budget adoption is going to be some months later in May, but like I said, we're going to start earlier this year, and hopefully we will have some of the resources next year to do some of the things that we've put off and need to do. Mike,
one more thing, please. Sand Hill, that old house was #1 in Blight. #2 is Harley's. #2 is Harley's. Doesn't have to be that way. It wouldn't cost the city a damn dime. Right here is what it could look like. Here's what it could look like right here. Already met with the people. Mount Vernon Levitt, her son Terry. And the one we draw back is a plaque and some historical thing to her husband, who they feel has been wronged. And they won't listen to this. The cost of this entirely on me and my organization. And I sent an email to the mayor asking him to consider that 2 years ago. Of course, I never got an answer. But this, you could take Blight into this. You've seen this many times before, Barbara. And why isn't it? Why the hell isn't it? Our city wouldn't cost you anything. Take a look at it. You've already got a copy, I think, Aaron. But I'm willing to do that. My organization is willing to do that. We'll start tomorrow. fact, we already had some of the paint, as I recall, which got dried up. Why not?
Let me just ask a couple of my staff people with more tenure in the organization than I've had, John or Aaron. Any thoughts about Harleys and what might be done or past? I think Aaron and John.
Harley has been approached in the past about doing something. We've had people over there. I know John. I think John, you've been up there personally and walked the building. Our building, one of our building officials has been through the building with them and talked about it. They've had potential tenants through the years, but they just haven't expressed a desire to move forward with an idea like you have done. Like you said, it's up to the property owner, and they've, from all indications that I've heard and everyone I've talked to, they've said we're not interested right now. Thank you very much. And so, as we talked about earlier, there's no compulsory means, nor would we want to use compulsory means. That's the attitude I get from council right now, to make them do something. So, if they meet the standard, they meet the standard. John.
And we've had, over the course of the last probably 2 months, we've had numerous people come in, so they're actively pursuing a lease with somebody wanting to lease that site. So probably we've had 3 or 4 people in the last probably 2 months come interested in opening a tire shop, a mechanic shop, and a variety of other things, which I think would be great. I mean, it's a great building. I love the sign. It has a great sign. I mean, there's a lot of potential with that building. I think we just need, I think they need the right tenant to go in there. I think it has a lot of potential, and the city, there are definitely some building and safety code issues with that building. It's been vacant for a long time. I know there's some issues with that, but I think we're more than willing to work with the property owners and potential tenants to that building to get a business in there. I think we all just want a business in the building. It does have great potential.
Thank you.
Let me go to you, and then you next.
I moved here in June, and as a newcomer, we started over at the U-Haul facility and made our way back over to where I live. And when we came through that side of town, we were a little shocked and taken back. We were like, what? I mean, it seemed kind of run down. And I think that there should be a need to enhance the appearance of that side of town in general for newcomers who do move here and want to go to Sips and Dips or the vitamin shop, but those businesses don't exist. So there needs to be steps taken to improve the quality of that side of town, I feel like, as a new resident of Mesquite. So I feel like there is a compulsory need to look into that.
Thank you.
Kind of segueing off her comment there, we have the eyesore first exit from the north, eyesore second exit from the north, or as it is from the south here, the one that's been torn down and the one that's standing there with X's and O's on it so you can't drive in the parking lot. Have plans been submitted, permits been pulled, any dreams, anything going on where we as residents know that, hey, I can tell friends and family or people driving through that we meet in Waldeboro, yeah, they're going to do an amusement park over there. It's going to turn into a zoo. They're going to change all it. Or it's going to come down and turn into dirt. It's for sale. Does the city know of any future plans on that so we can share it with
You're
anybody?
talking about the Mesquite Star? Is the former Mesquite Star?
Well, whatever that eyesore is up there.
I believe that was purchased by the Lee family, the same family that owns the Eureka Casino, and I think they have future development plans for it. I'm not exactly sure what those plans entail or when they're going to start, but it was recently purchased and will eventually be redeveloped.
No plans or paperwork across anybody's desk in town or anything like that, so it's nothing but a dream right now.
No, I can comment